It's And Just Like That, Season 1, Episode 7, Sex and the Widow. Carrie's publisher tasks her with injecting some hope into her new book. Miranda tries to rekindle a spark with Steve, and Charlotte bristles when Harry imposes on her sacred space. Tennis! I forgot which fucking. Oh my god. Okay. Hi, guys.
Tennis. Hey, remember how we always harp on how these episodes could all be cut by like 15 minutes? Cut that tennis scene out of here. You got a 30-minute episode.
Start by cutting this entire episode because I was incensed. I know the episode wasn't terrible itself, but
That was
the
good, actually.
6-month time jump has me shocked and shaking. I don't understand what's happening in this show because between last episode and this episode, a year has passed, guys. A year.
Context clues.
And
what they've told us, but they've given us different time because Miranda says 3 months to Che in this episode. Carrie said 6 months the end of last episode, right? Or 3 months later, my hip was fine. I was back in heels.
Does she say a time? We have to. Do you have your transcript for that one? While Amanda's finding that, hit subscribe, guys. It's Pod in the City. It's Amanda and Joan. We're here every week. We're currently doing a hate rewatch of And Just Like That because, boy, it's needed. And part of me, I kind of almost want to do a season 2 one because, boy, oh boy, we're still sticking, guys. It's October of 2025. And Just Like That was officially canceled. It ended 2 months ago.
Michael Patrick King felt it was a good time to stop.
I was gonna say
not cancel.
I have a tiny bit of something for you guys. So I just want to drop this. You know, we're still on this thing of like, was it canceled or wasn't it? I mean,
even though we know the answer. We know the answer. It's just funny to see them kicking Michael Patrick King while he's clearly in hiding. He's like, everyone just stop talking about it, guys, please.
Sarah Jessica Parker herself is still playing this charade because just on October 2nd, like this is almost 2 months after the show ended, Sarah Jessica Parker shares insight on tough decision to end And Just Like That. Basically what they say is that it was best because out of respect for this singular professional experience that you have to consider what you want to do and have you done it. And sometimes it's best to gracefully walk away when things feel really right and energetic instead of squeezing and exploiting people's generosity and hospitality. And they're still saying it was a very tough decision. I'm not sure what decision. Oh, and here, guys, this is a huge, juicy. This actually is interesting. This could lead for hope in the future.
Yeah, for us and for our podcast.
Who wants to see the show come back? We do because it brings up the numbers of viewers on our ship, but and also to hate watch it, right? This crazy idea called hate watching. I'm not sure what that decision means because I could just be on hiatus, but it was a difficult decision. So there you have it. So Carrie could just be on hiatus, meaning they might continue the show. There was also a slight juicy bomb that was actually dropped, I guess, last month that just kind of, I guess, went under the radar. And, you know, just last episode, we were asking, how old is Karen Pittman? Because this story isn't making sense. She was alluding that she was 39 online, I guess, but come to find out, her and Reese Witherspoon knew each other growing up, and they're the same age, which is 49.
Yeah, Reese accidentally spilled the age, but then the quote was like, we're the same age, the exact same age, within months of each other, exact same age, born the same year. Oh, here we go. I could throw a rock. She went to one girl's school. I went to the other girl's school. Same age, exact same age coming up together. And we finally met on the set of Morning Show. So we're natural girls. It's just great. So I celebrate all of her wins, and she was on And Just Like That too. She's just killing it. All right.
Leave it at that. Guys, a couple little other things. This is an awkward transition. Please help support us. We're in a trying time right now. Just kidding. All right. I mean, we are, but you could, anyway, join our Patreon. That's what I was getting at. Patreon.com/podinthecity. Over there, $6 a month gets you ad-free early access, and you get extra episodes. We do like a rotating thing of shows. We're doing RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 2, one of the best, like the best season of television ever. And Smash, one of the worst seasons of television ever. And Vanderpump Rules, one of the best shows to ever exist if you like reality TV.
Oh my God, yes. Last night, Jody messaged me something and I was like, oh, I'm actually busy, right? Or she was watching something and I was like, oh, I'm actually on the very classic New Orleans episode, the drag New Orleans episode of Vanderpump Rules. She's like, oh my God, that's the next episode we're watching. So then we're like on the exact same episode train right now. Isn't that fun?
Were you tingling?
Yeah, it's like fun because we're both just watching everything together. The past few we've watched together.
Well, and that one's the famous episode of
Battered Wife.
Battered wife.
Look at him. Schwartz is like,
Schwartz is a really good professional victim. How about
that episode? His real personality comes out because he's.
Oh, my girlfriend's so mean. My fiance's so mean to me, except I'm abusive to her. I'm horrible. I mean, allegedly horrible to her. I pour drinks on her and I completely demean her in front of her friends.
This is where he's like, they're on their bachelorette party. And he's like, I'm done. I'm not marrying her. She's such a bitch. She's such a fucking bitch. Like just walking around his bachelorette party saying this to everyone about the bride. That's good. So check that out. And then also we have pillow talk every 4 weeks. So this
really, if you jump in on Patreon, baby, this shit's live next Tuesday.
It's upcoming Tuesday.
I don't know, what is that, the 7th?
Few days. Yeah, we're gonna do a little Cosmo quiz and talk about sex and see what else comes out there. So check that out. All right. Well, should we get into this episode? Yeah, right.
Yeah, babe. Okay, I mean, well, I wish we had some graphics to show this time jump that happens in the beginning. We also would need really bad green screening and a really bad CGI. But
this episode begins. I know that we said this on our first watch of this. Is that like we liked this?
We do lives every sorry guys, we do lives every Friday on YouTube. You can join them, and so we're gonna we talked about these in our lives, these time jumps. But yes, youtube.com/podinthecity. Sorry.
Yeah, join us every Friday. It's super fun. We just we kind of break down the episode off the cuff of what we think, and now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it. So we liked this on our first watch that this was at least similar to Sex and the City. In fact, I'm almost positive a couple Sex and the City episodes start exactly like this, with Carrie typing as the seasons go by.
I liked it. I liked that.
It at least reminded me of Sex and the City, but again, Michael Patrick King says we don't want that. We don't want to be reminded of Sex and the City.
I think it's a cool visual. I think it's a cool idea. But again, I will bring up this point that makes no sense. Last episode did a big time jump of Carrie getting hip surgery and then fast forwarding to her being in heels. And now this one is fast forwarding months and months again. So 7, 8 months have passed since even the finger banging then, technically, right?
Yeah, Miranda's been on red since then. And we have the song Spring Is Here playing. Fine. Amanda? Oh, Amanda. Yes, there's an Amanda in the show.
The publisher.
Carrie's publisher, Amanda, who's... I know that I feel like they were just like, come up with some kind of zany thing about yourself. And I think her thing is like coffee. Because then later she's like, I'm on my 15th cappuccino of the day. I love cappuccino. And
that was probably Michael Patrick King one day met someone who said that they drank 15 cappuccinos, and he just was like, oh my God, this has got to be in the show.
It has to be Amanda.
Listen to the Writers Room podcast for reference, y'all.
Amanda shows Carrie. So Carrie's given Amanda her manuscript. What do you call this? Is it called a manuscript?
I think it's a manuscript.
Oh, it is? Okay. She's giving it her. And she's like, look, actual tears right here. Tears for the...
She's like, tears on the page. You can see it.
By the way, Carrie looks cute. This is a really cute outfit for Carrie. She's wearing like a tie and like a suit. Do you remember that?
I did really like the outfit.
Yeah. So it's great. And she goes, your readers are absolutely going to kill themselves when they read this, basically. Your
Mhm.
readers need some kind of positivity at the end. So I want a half a page of hope at the end, which all, by the way, that to me doesn't seem that overwhelming. It seems like exactly what she's asking for. Half a page epilogue. Slow little like ditty. This is going to make Carrie spin out for the entire episode. Can you just write a little tag on the end there so people know that you're okay?
I'd say it's strange because I guess this episode almost puts the bow on her grief.
Yeah, they like to put a bow on everything.
The show doesn't explore her grief enough for me to feel like her jumping back in is this wild thing or this. I mean, like, what does the story? Do they explain what the story ends with? It doesn't end with just Big dying because, as they mention in the writer's room, that time progression, the winter period is when, guys, this is the stupidity of their writing choice, like the choices that are made. And I will bang my head into a wall repeating this, that they spend too much time on dumb shit and not on, like, I don't know, making your story actually make sense.
Full arcs. Yes.
They wanted to have
Minutia.
the winter section of the time passage be the time when Carrie was writing about Big's passing. So technically, she still continues writing past that.
Exactly.
So what is she writing about? How is she leaving it? Like, I hate my life. I'm now a widower
honestly,
forever.
from what Amanda's saying, it's probably 2 months of her just like complaining.
I had hip surgery and my friends carried me home. And then 6 months later, I walked out of the house in heels.
Yeah, like where does this end? Like this ends on the day, like today, yesterday.
Again, logic, and just like that are two parallel lines that will never cross.
All right, well, now we start this tennis story. And now we talked about this, not even on the live. We talked about this before we even got on. This tennis thing, what this tennis scene is accomplishing eventually, and I don't hate this story either. I actually really kind of like this little story, is that the button is going to be LTW and George Washington going, oh, like Charlotte and Harry catching them bickering and them going, oh, they're going to think we're that couple because they catch Charlotte and Harry having a little bicker. And then they're like, oh, we don't want them to think we're that couple. That's what the joke is. So like you said before, John, they could have done anything with that. However,
I don't even think that was a joke. I think that they were just trying to get at, like, oh, we're not different. We're actually we're similar.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. That's the story. That's the story they're trying to tell.
What is that?
It's kind of a it's a little joke. It's a little.
Did you laugh?
No, but I went more. All right.
Okay, they have a moment set up where LTW and Charlotte are going to play tennis, right? And they're like, yeah, you got to watch the redhead or whatever they're saying. And I didn't hate this because this was a sight gag. Michael Patrick.
Oh, really? I hated this. This was just like old people humor. Like, look at these two old guns.
Okay. But no, I think that I will give them a tiny bit that was like, oh, you're expecting that, like, because they're talking about them like they're going to dominate their asses. And then you see that it's like two old ladies. But fine. But then they cut to a 5-minute long up close.
Right.
In order to make it look like more is happening than what's happening, they have shot them in literally zoomed up shots of them going, oh,
yep.
And you can see when they pan out that LTW and Charlotte do not move from the spot. They're standing in the same spots, and it's just LTW going like,
oh, well, good thing Kristen Davis took weeks of tennis lessons for this. See, this is the thing. This is what they're spending budget on for this.
This was a super
you don't even need it to be tennis.
Too.
It doesn't even need to be a tennis game. It could just be them bickering about something and they catch each other bickering. That's the only story you're telling here. But a lot of this is spent. And I think that they thought they would be like, oh, the physical comedy prowess of Kristen Davis and LTW. That's it. That's it.
I'm more agitated at what happens, the continuation of the tennis story later. So I will leave my bitching till then. Yes.
All right.
I also think Charlotte, like, I love her, but they have put her tennis outfit is wild to me.
I don't remember it.
It's like a full white dress. Okay.
Yeah.
With like an empire waist, I think is what they call that, or empire. Is that right? I don't know. Natasha, Razor Glam, you tell me, babe. An empire waist, which is like up under the boobs, right?
Yeah.
So this white part is just like a white top, which almost looks like a sports bra, but there is then this like red, white, and blue band, and then it's pleated dress from there down to like the middle of her calf. It's like,
I don't. Okay, I guess I didn't.
It's so frumpy and like it just makes no sense. And then I remember when we watched the documentary, this dress was a part. I swear to God, this was in the documentary because they go in on how this was like, how this dress is like a Chanel blah blah blah, and it's like a $5,000 dress for this scene for her to play.
And again, it's not this isn't relatable to like a lot of people.
Wait, no, it's not. Like there. Oh God,
I took tennis lessons for like 6 years, and I don't even relate to this.
I think it's fine if it wasn't so drawn out. If they did the thing of like, oh, we're friends. Oh my God, that redhead, she's gonna beat our ass or whatever.
You don't even need to see them pick up a racket, honestly. You don't.
That's what I was gonna say. You cut to the old people, it cuts back to LTW and Charlotte, and then smash cut to them sitting down after the game being like, wow, they kicked our ass.
That's funnier. That's way funnier.
Because the scene of them playing was not funny one bit. It wasn't funny. And there weren't even jokes in it. It was just them being like, get her. It was like, okay. I know we sound like haters.
I don't think anyone's just jumping in here. Carrie, by the way, it gets mentioned here that Carrie is going to be a prize at the school auction. Oh, I also noticed LTW and Charlotte had a good little thing here. Their relationship, I'm enjoying watching this story develop. And then in this third season, they just put her to George Washington and send her off.
Marion.
And Marion,
makes sense because 5 or 6 months have passed, so their relationship should have deepened. Actually,
but I like their banter together without. I don't know. It used to work here, and then it's as if LCW is not friends with any of them by the end. But next,
she's got to do her documentary, darling. Yes,
that's right. Next, we got the pickle scene. I forgot this was coming, but we're at the fucking pickles. We're in some farmer's market.
Oh,
in like Herald
pickle
Square.
Scene? Yes.
Pickles. And so this is what has happened. I thought that Steve was even stupider than before. And then watching this now, I'm like, no, like he is fully justified in everything he just said. They used to always come to this farmer's market, and now they just switched everything around. So now he's a little out of sorts. Whether or not you can hear shit has nothing to do with whether or not you're a little turned around, because the pickles used to always be here. So Miranda has Miranda on the phone with Steve, and she's like screaming at him, no, over here where that used to be. Steve, over here. And I think he went to the wrong farmer's market. That's what it was.
He was at the wrong stand.
No, I think he was at the wrong market, and then he was at the wrong stand.
I think the first thing she says is, you're at the wrong vegetable guy. You're at the guy who's mean. I'm at the other end. Blah, blah, blah. What? That does not matter. What matters is that you are talking to him on a cell phone and you're shouting, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You're on a cell phone. The volume, he has hearing aids in and he has the like, huh? Again, like I know I'm being an annoying stickler of the logic stuff, but like logically, I would understand if he's across the market. She's like, oh shit, Steve doesn't have his phone, and she's like, Steve.
I would hate that would also be kind of funny too.
But it at least would make more sense than being on the phone, being like, hey, you can't hear me? Hello, we're 100 yards away from each other.
Oh yeah,
you're
that's
not
true.
in different
have his hearing, yeah.
I'm confused. Okay.
Naya and Andre Rashad walk up, and Miranda's like, "Oh, we do an introduction." He leaves, and then Naya tells Miranda, "Oh, he leaves," and then him and Naya give each other this, what I find to be a little bit of an inappropriate kiss when you're standing in front of people. It's kind of rude, actually, and I also don't believe it at all.
It was giving the kind of kiss that a couple gives when they're going through problems and they're trying to show people that they want to be with each other.
And then Miranda's like, "Oh, wow, if you guys were a TV show, I'd be streaming you," which Miranda would never say that. Miranda's not like that.
Horrible line.
Horrible line. So then Steve walks up. "Hey, this place is bullshit. Why do they keep moving everything around?" Oh my
He's giving
God.
Silver Fox. Sorry, I hate to say it. I know they're trying to make him seem like a bumbling old man fool, but
he's in his 50s.
He's still, I mean, and I would be like, it is annoying because he forgets his wallet or whatever, and he's like, "You're yelling at me on the phone." He
goes, "Oh, damn." He meets Naya. He's super polite, very nice. He's like, "Oh, she's obviously so intimidated by you."
She's like, and then "You're the only woman that's ever made her intimidated." And then Naya says, "Same," or something. Same, like Miranda is the only woman that's made Naya intimidated.
That's crazy. And then Steve's like, "Oh shit, I forgot my wallet. I left it over by the pickles." And then he walks away, and Miranda's like, and like almost apologizes, like, "Oh, that's my Steve. I know it's so embarrassing." It's like, he was very polite to your friend just now. He like talked you up.
I would almost.
What did he do?
If I were Naya, I'd be like, "Are you upset? You must hate his ass." Are you mad at him? What?
Are you in a fight right now? He was like really nice. So
they were
Carrie
doing some hat work, Andre Rashad and Naya, which was interesting.
Andre Rashad had his Tom Collins hat on, of course.
When doesn't he?
Yeah. Carrie now goes to drop in on Amanda, and this scene could have been cut too. They had this extended character choice.
Every scene.
The episode Carrie walking in, and she's like, "Amanda," and Amanda turns around, mouthful of foam, hilarious. She's like, I love cappuccino. This is my 4th cappuccino today. Do you want a cappuccino? They're free cappuccinos.
Carrie's like, "That has too much sugar."
Carrie's like, "I don't know where the cover is, and I don't know. They just seem a little too sad. Maybe the book is too sad. Maybe this book is just for me, and that's it." Oh, okay. Fuck
Doesn't
me.
She
then,
say like,
maybe
career. My fans want to just see me or something?
She's considering pulling the book and saying, maybe you don't get this anymore. Maybe this was just for me, Carrie. And Amanda's like, "The fuck you are doing that? We're sending out the book. You're gonna write a 5-word epilogue, and that's it."
She says, "I sent it over to Oprah's book
that's right. Yeah.
And they think it could be great." And Carrie's
on the Writers Room podcast, Michael Patrick King's like, "We needed the big guns, and those big guns are Oprah."
I hate to be rude to y'all, but like, I don't think Oprah's book club has been relevant.
Right, ever since that Million Little Pieces, right?
I just think, I think the tides are turning somewhat on Oprah. Anyway.
Okay, are they? I mean,
I don't think people are loving her as much as they were loving her back.
I think everyone needs to remember that the war should not be between left and right, but rich and poor. And we need to remember Oprah's also very rich.
I was going to say she's on the rich side. I think that's where
people give a fuck about any of us at all. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Did you go to Bass Lake?
Not my opinion.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. Not to get political, of course. Carrie says, maybe the book is just for me. And Amanda's like, "That's hilarious. Go right the end of it." Carrie now tells the girls minus LTW.
Even at that point, if you're Carrie, sorry, couldn't you just make it up?
Yeah,
you're a writer, girl.
You're so good at it. Carrie is at lunch with, is it Naya? Is Naya there? No.
Anthony there.
Who? Seema, that's
Seema's
it.
it.
Okay, Seema's there. Okay,
Yeah.
that she's ready to. I'm ready to date, and Charlotte's like, great. I have a few people in mind already, and Carrie's like, no, this is just for content. I don't actually. I'm not. I'm just gonna try to lead a bunch of people on, and then not do anything with them. And she goes, no. Seema's like, don't worry. Oh, listen to this. I just thought of. Michael Patrick King says in the Writers Room podcast, she's like, we could have had a sequence where like Carrie's setting up her Tinder, but we've all seen stuff like that. We just want to move the story along. And I was like, again, that could have been actually a really funny little sequence there, but it's easier to just have fast forward even more. Seema's done it for her. Seema's already created a Tinder for her. You're getting hits.
Oh, and
also, nobody in the writer's room is single, so nobody understands how Tinder works. So, like, you can tell in the writing that they don't know how to, like, write dialogue for this.
It's very clear they don't know how any of that works, because the idea here is that Seema has set this up in February. Right. It's now April, and what? She's like, you're very popular. So what, she's just getting a stream of messages since February?
Right, and she wouldn't be getting featured every day. You always get a whole bunch on your first day in. But, like, is she staying active as Carrie? She's just
catfishing as Carrie.
You have to stay active, otherwise it'll say hasn't inactive since whatever.
Like, so what have you been doing? She's like, well, I recently lost my husband. Like,
yeah, she like, what does she do anyway?
Maybe I should lobotomize myself before the next episode, so I stop thinking about, like, why doesn't this make sense?
You can't think of continuity either. Don't remember anything about what you've already seen. Even earlier in that same
Sex
episode.
and the City, and just like that. I mean,
5 minutes ago.
Double daddy.
So she goes, no sex indefinitely. So then her and Miranda are walking here. Now remember, Miranda might not have ever brought Che up in the whole 6 months, but right now Miranda's about to bring up Che. So just remember that, okay? So Miranda's like, so you're never gonna have sex again? Carrie's like, I don't know. The thought of not having sex is like crazy, but also the thought of having sex with somebody that isn't big seems crazy too. So Miranda's like, I guess. And Miranda right here, doesn't she just say, has Che said anything about me? Or she said something happens about Steve. I know what it is. Carrie goes, the thought of getting back on that roller coaster makes me feel sick to my stomach. And Miranda goes, I would kill to be back on that roller coaster. And Carrie's like, oh, you and Steve still bad? She's like, no, not any better. And then Miranda goes, have Che ever talk about me or anything? And Carrie's like, no, Che's busy with fucking everyone in town, basically.
I would say the problem here is that these were written by different people, these last 2 episodes, because in the last episode there was such an emphasis on Miranda like coming out almost to Charlotte and Carrie and being like,
it was a rebirth. Remember those noises she was making?
So that's what I'm not understanding, is that if that was the situation, you're telling me that you have now rebirthed, you need Che, you're this, that, and the other, and you've just you're
unhappy with
turned
Steve.
Down the feeling for 5 months.
Also, Carrie's kind of a dick. Like, if my best friend was like, I'm unhappy in my marriage, I would be checking in about it.
That's what I'm saying. There's not
just going, oh, you hadn't mentioned it in a while, so I assume things were great now.
She literally had a full breakdown to Carrie where Carrie's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm unhappy. And you didn't check in on your friend. You just
didn't do 1 second.
That's why I think this wasn't, I feel like if they would have, I feel like the show, the writers and shit of themselves would feel like they fucked up here. No.
And if you were Carrie, just even if this isn't your best friend, but just socially, if this person brings up Che all of a sudden now, wouldn't you in your head be like, oh, damn, you've been thinking about Che like this whole time. I didn't realize how important that was to you. And then have that in my head.
Realized when Miranda's like, Che changed me. And it's like, I've never felt that way before. Right. And you just didn't. But a weird.
She says right here, she goes, Miranda says, I guess I'll just have to file that away then as a crazy one-off and resign myself to a boring sex life. I can't believe I had the most transcendent sex. It wasn't sex. You got finger banged in the kitchen with your dirty fingernail in my life, and it will never happen again. And then Carrie's like,
yeah, but Big died. Isn't that what she says?
She goes, I know how you feel, but just think of this. Big is actually dead.
And I'll never ride him again. So
Yeah,
we
and
could
Miranda's
ride
like,
Che's finger again, but I'll never get big again.
right.
The thing
So
here,
Carrie,
though, that also I'll just point out, if we're going to point out things that make no sense, which there you go. Okay, if 5 months have passed or whatever, we're to believe, I guess, that Carrie and Miranda haven't even seen each other in that time, because when I see a friend, okay, there are things you talk about every time that you see
just
your friend,
basic, yeah.
which is your husband. I'm sorry. You would say, oh, how's blah, blah, blah.
And also how's
So
Brady?
this is weird because Carrie just brings it up like, oh, yeah, how are you and Steve? You're bringing that up on the conversation after you've already had this big conversation.
Right.
And this is 5 months later after she told you.
I think you would be checking in. If your best friend said, I've been unhappy for years and years, I would be thinking about that all the time if I were Carrie.
I would be probably concerned if they were saying that I hate my life. Like, that usually is kind of a red flag.
And you're Carrie, like, since Miranda never brought it up again, she just assumed things were fine.
Well, you know what? Miranda might hate her life and want to end it, but you know whose life is already ended? Biggs, okay? So if you want to end your life, it doesn't matter because Biggs already ended.
So anything about this fucking tennis thing, I'm blowing through. Harry, but listen to this though.
Oh, yes.
Harry is having some midnight toast, a nosh, and Harry says,
"What's the significance of the midnight toast? Is there a significance?"
And I think it was just a little banter, like, ooh, some midnight toast. I thought that was fine. But then Harry goes, I ran into Herbert Wexley on the subway. And Charlotte goes, why was he on the subway? It's weird that he'd ride the subway. And wow, funny you should ask. He's trying to boost his image for when he runs for mayor.
Why didn't they have him run for mayor? Was it just would that have been like too much?
It would have actually made the stakes for when he develops an eating disorder later valid.
The fact that on and just like that, one of the storylines is the brought on character's husband having an eating disorder because he's running for comptroller.
And again, they could have done anything.
In the years of watching Sex and the City, if you would have told me, hey, in about 15 years, there's going to be a sequel series, and one of the main storylines is how a character that you don't know yet, how her husband is running for comptroller, which causes him to have an eating disorder, I would be like, the fuck?
They should have killed him in like a random accident, and then she would have been like, oh fuck, like I was gonna cheat on him, and now it's over.
I still think she should have cheated on him. I just or kissed Marion or something.
Okay, Harry wants to play mixed doubles with Charlotte and LTW. Next, Naya and Andre Rashad are in the car. This is actually funny. Because these people are younger than us, so I don't see how they would have their car settings set to, if a text message comes in, have the car read it out to us in the Siri voice. Have the car read out the full text.
My car.
You have this? You have this.
Does notify you that you have a text, and it will ask you if it wants you to read, if you want it to read it or whatever.
Oh.
It won't just auto read it. Also, who is sending texts to someone saying, first line, sorry you're not pregnant?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Earlier at the market, Naya told Miranda she had got her period. Okay.
Well, while Andre Rashad was like 5 feet away, I guess.
Yeah. And Andre Rashad knew that she was late, so she's sad to tell him. She was nervous to tell him. So it comes out, Miranda calls and says, so sorry you're not pregnant. Better luck next time. And then Andre Rashad's like, what? And then Naya almost hits a pedestrian. It's this like gay
couple with a child in a stroller.
And he goes, I have a toddler. There's one too many I have a toddlers, though. Don't you agree?
I do agree, but I did like, okay, so it goes like this. What are you doing? I have a toddler. And then she's like, they're like inside the car. He's like, I have a toddler. I have a toddler. And then he keeps walking. He turns around. He's like, I have a toddler.
Yeah, that was that one. You didn't need that last one.
But I actually kind of chuckled on the rewatch when she's like, he has a toddler.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you laughed the first time
saying
too.
it was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It was just one too many I have a toddlers. The end. Carrie's now scrolling through Tinder at home.
Again, though, what does that have to do with fucking?
I guess that's just Miranda being a fucking idiot again.
No, I'm talking about the I have a toddler guy.
Oh, that because that happened to a friend of Michael Patrick King.
God.
I'm not joking. Okay, so then Carrie's now scrolling through Tinder at home and clicks on Peter, who's fucking gorgeous.
He's a handsome man for sure.
Like, God, they're acting like he's this troll that climbed up out of the
Is that what
swamp.
they're trying to do?
Well, they're making him seem very unappealing. I would jump on that dick so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he's silver
And he's like
hot.
so nice. He's rich.
And he explained,
love that.
Something happened to me. I don't know if I blacked out, but I literally missed watching the scene of them going on their date. So
nothing really. Oh, I got it here, and then I'll tell you guys a fun little story about the fake puke. If you didn't hear it on the live,
because it's so necessary. It's that's yes. Not
now
the story is necessary.
Wait,
yes,
we're halting, John. I need you to halt because now we have an 8-minute long tennis scene. All right.
Okay.
So,
first of all,
yeah, this is with the
stupid, not funny, and bad. It's LTW and George Washington and Harry and Charlotte against each other. And now I don't give a fuck if Harry was first of all, I don't give a fuck at all. But if Harry was a former, Andre Agassi or whoever it was, like
good reference,
Rafael Nadal or whatever.
Wow, too.
Well, I know that Rafael Nadal guy because he has a big fat ass. And, like, I mean, it's very prominent in gay forums, etc. Anyway,
that's one. Okay, gotcha.
But I will never, for 1 second, believe that LTW and George Washington they wouldn't just immediately smoke the shit out of Charlotte and Harry, right? I mean, they're 15 years younger than they are they not?
Yes. And Harry doesn't
not.
Seem like he's regularly, like Charlotte does at least do this, but he's not regularly doing this.
In season 3, Harry can't figure out how to unbutton his pants in time. And I understand that was to reference that he had cancer, guys.
Yeah.
Right? But and he's up against LTW.
John, why are you even spending so much time? We're spending far longer on this tennis storyline than I had intended to. Okay, but in this tennis scene, which again, this is something that could have been any possible storyline where Charlotte should be apologizing to Harry. They could be walking on the street and she could accidentally knock him into like a grate or something, and then she refuses to say I'm sorry, because that's really what their fight is about now. Is just she knocks Harry over and then she doesn't apologize, and he said, I'm waiting for an apology that you knocked me over. And she goes, no, I shouldn't because we won. And then this is what the fight is.
They probably should have figured out something better to argue about, because that's stupid. I don't care about that argument. If I saw a couple arguing about that, I'd be like, what?
Well, Charlotte is in the wrong, though, too. If your partner is like, I'm just also, even if you don't mean it, just do it. Just say it and it's over. Just say you're sorry. And it's not like it's a, I think Michael Patrick King thought this would be like women power. Like, women apologize for things all day long. Sure, I'll follow that if you're saying this to like Jax Taylor or something, or like Cody. But like Harry is like the best fucking husband ever. He's been your partner from the beginning, has bent over backwards for you every second. Just give him an apology if you knocked him over.
It's just such a nothing burger storyline, right? That's like, that's your guys' main conflict, is that Charlotte wants to win tennis and she knocks you over while you guys are playing because you're not playing fast, or like you're not being swift enough, and then you're upset because she doesn't apologize to you. That's your problem.
LTW and George Washington like stumble upon them arguing, and Charlotte's like, now they think we're that couple, the couple who fights. Okay, great.
Doesn't every couple like somewhat have little arguments and stuff?
Miranda's in the kitchen with Steve, okay? And again, she's thinking about Che, obviously, and that one finger. And
It was a finger.
Oh yeah. This would be weird. Now, if you're Steve and your fucking ice queen wife hasn't like touched you in however long years, and all of a sudden she starts acting all like, first of all, I would think that she's cheating on me, or she at least wants to cheat, wouldn't you?
It's hard to say because again, 5 months have passed. Day in and day out, they do nothing. They're like ships in the night. I don't.
I think they're just more friends.
Then that's a Miranda problem. This entire thing, what's annoying to me is they didn't need to make it like Steve is a problem in this. Because ultimately, it's not that Steve can't hear her and isn't whatever. It's that Steve is not.
Or is let him still go in any way. He still looks the exact same. He's in shape. He's nice to her. They're best friends. He's fine.
I mean, even if he's not a whatever, we don't need that because ultimately Miranda wants a non-binary or woman's finger in her. A power one too. She doesn't want Steve's man fingers up in there, not to be
because then here's the thing. She now starts. He's into it. Like he will do this for you.
He's trying to be nice. She says, "Finger me," and he's like, "Oh wait, oh god, I'm a little rusty." He goes to wash his hands, which I'd say that's a courtesy.
Yes, of course. Well, they're like touching. They're probably touching meat.
What Miranda wants is a dom top who finger fucks their way across the country in everyone they see and is going to come up to them and be like, yeah, don't tell me to touch you. And Steve isn't that and never has been. So why are we using I don't know. And I know we're always in the Steve lovers.
No, not really. The cereal, Scooby-Doo was a real turn on.
Well, yes. And the, ship stains, what are those called?
The track marks or skid marks. Yeah,
skid marks. Tread marks. Track marks.
Okay.
So yes, I'm just like, this is stupid.
And he's like trying to figure out. She turns around and she's like dry and she's annoyed. She's acting like, at least if you act into it, he'll be more comfortable. But right now, he's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, I don't want to fuck anything up here. So she's like, no, not that way. I'll turn this way. And she's just like acting overly annoyed with him. So he's like, what is happening?
That's where it's really sending mixed signals. If you're like, hey, finger me. And then within 5 seconds, if they haven't instantly given you what you want, you're like, oh God, Take the power then, Miranda. Grab his hand, shove it down your pants, show him what you want, and say, you do this to me. I don't understand this whole like, oh, he can't do it. Well, then he can't. Then leave him. Anyway.
And also, at this point, she never says to him, I'm unhappy. Maybe we can go to counseling or something. So Miranda gives nothing. She just gives nothing. And then he's like, do you want to go to the bedroom? She's like, no, the moment's over. It's over. That's it. That one attempt out of nowhere. Now I feel like if she went to him that night and tried again, it would go better, right? But she's done now. This is it. This was the only attempt.
I think it's, if you look at it from the perspective of like, this scene is just to show she's never going to, like, this is not going to work for her at all anymore. Fine. But unfortunately, I'm trying to give them too much.
I really think if someone had just told Steve, Miranda wants somebody, like, I want you to dumb me down, he would do it.
That would have happened on the old show, but we don't want that,
No, we need to fast forward thing. So Carrie now meets Peter for this date, okay? And I can already feel this scat humor coming. And both are newly.
Have a single episode with piss, shit, or puke, right?
Yeah. So it's actually going well. They're both newly widowed. They're kind of awkward. And then once it comes out that they're both widower, they're like, well, we need drinks. So this I thought was funny, comedy-wise. They got right to the point. They come out of the restaurant afterward. They're both laughing. He pukes on the street, and then she sees it, and then she pukes, and then he pukes, and then she pukes. So hilarious. Now, behind the scenes here, they rigged up the guy with fake puke, so that it comes out of like a hose. Yeah. Basically. But then Sarah Jessica, being the pro she is, took the bottle of.
This was on the writer's room?
Yeah, he told the story on the Writers' Room podcast.
This is insane. I would have
was like,
sued her.
I got this, fellas. And she like chugs the whole thing of fake puke. And I assume when he says chug, it means swallow, right? So
yes.
Because otherwise, why would you do that? Unless you wanted it to look so authentic.
He implies that she drank it.
Because he goes chug the whole thing.
And then basically was like, and then forced herself to throw up.
Because if she just put it in her mouth, I don't think he would have used the word chug.
No, he would just say she put it in her mouth and did it. Chug implies swallowing. Also, you couldn't technically hold that much in your mouth. Here's an idea. Why not use this as a cutaway? Do we need to watch them throw up? Do I need to see?
It's funny out of their mouth? Humor. And there is a woman on the Writers' Room that like loves to get this shit in. So this is like her little bit. It's like a little Marion Jen bit. Okay, so he pukes in the street. So now at the benefit, also to me, that wouldn't be a
deal breaker at all.
Like I get it.
Both of you did it
at the exact same time. You both did, and then you also got drunk. Not because he's an alcoholic or anything, but because we both just realized we're both widows. Oh, let's get drunk now.
It was like your guys' first foray out after losing
and it is kind of a cute story, actually. Technically, it's a cute story you can tell later.
That's why, spoiler alert, I do think, well, she does agree to go on another date with him.
Right.
But he also just so happens to be at the damn charity event.
Right. Well, Carrie's now blabbing about her date, and Anthony goes, well, it's not that. Are they at the charity event here? Yeah, they must be. Yeah, they're at this. They're at the benefit. I even wrote it. Okay, so Carrie's blabbing about her date. Anthony goes, it's not that bad, which again, it's not. And Carrie goes, my husband died, so unless you shit yourself after a first date, I win. But then he does say you get one more of those later. He does say that.
Thank God.
Thank God. The bit, Harry and Charlotte continue to fight about the apology. There's this bit, which I don't mind the idea of the bit, but it's not executed to full effect. It's very half-assed with LTW holding the mic and not able to she's constantly pulling the mic away. And George Washington is like, put it back.
What's the point of this bit?
It's so that Che can have that punchline later. Do you not remember it?
I do, and if that is the reason,
well, I don't know if that's why, but it was at least kind of funny.
The table right now, it's stupid and it makes no sense. I guess because they're like, okay, well, if they just talk, it's too boring. So we have to add
what it is. They just need something bit-ish to happen to fill the 42-minute run.
But it's a dumb bit. You're telling me that this woman, who is an accomplished, intelligent,
documentarian
woman,
by the way, has to probably make speeches all the time about her own movie and stuff, right?
Or just I guess has a brain.
Yeah.
Doesn't know that if you're talking into a microphone, you can't just drop it to your side while you're talking.
Because you wouldn't. I think just if anyone's even pretending to give a speech at home, you'd have your hand up, right?
That's what I'm saying.
You wouldn't. It feels actually more comfortable. That's why a lot of bad actors will be handed props because you act better when you're actively doing something. You wouldn't just drop your hand.
What is she going to be like? Yeah, everyone. Hi guys. So nice to see you. Really?
Carrie says her sad book keeps getting sadder. Oh, whatever. Okay, so Miranda tells Carrie about the kitchen session with Steve. And she's like, I haven't even said. And Carrie's like, have you said anything to Steve? And Miranda goes, no, it wouldn't do anything. Well, you could maybe try once before you blow up your entire goddamn life and your families. By the way, hey, guess what? Che Diaz is performing. Miranda's like,
and Carrie didn't mention it.
Carrie, yes. That's why I wanted you to put a pin in that earlier, because even if Miranda has not brought up Chase since the finger bang episode, which she did at the picnic table with Charlotte, but even if that was the last time, she brought it up to you yesterday. She said, does Che ever ask about me?
If you told me 10 years ago that you had gotten finger banged by some person and you had a crush on them, 10 years later, I would be like, oh, that person's going to be at this party, just so you know.
You would.
Would you?
I know.
it's like the show exists outside of the bounds of reality, because that doesn't make any sense. And why wouldn't she just say it the night before? Oh, because then you probably couldn't get Miranda there. But then what was the point of Miranda being there, so that she can play it cool later and be like, oh yeah, I'm chill.
Even just
It's
a
so
mutual
awkward.
friend, I'd be like, oh, by the way, so-and-so's going to be there.
The person who finger banged you in the kitchen and gave you the rebirth in a
Who,
way
by
that
the way, is my boss
world.
that I see every day, I guess. Do they work 9 to 5 every Monday through Friday?
I mean, it's also illogical that, again, friends, this is a school fundraiser for a school. And what we have seen of Che Diaz's comedy is, hey, who here wants to fuck me? Who here has fucked me? Who wants to get fucked by me? Like,
Che walks up to the stage. Oh, Miranda just walks away from Carrie, but Che grabs LTW's mic and goes, thanks. They both try to hand their mics, and Che goes, oh, I'll take hers. She's not using it anyway. So that was kind of funny. Then she goes, listen to this.
It could have been funny if the bit leading up to it wasn't just stupid.
Sure. Or if it had at least like developed. But anyway, the first line out of the gate here is, this auction is taking longer than it took me to come out, kids.
And the audience is like,
yeah.
Rich donors are like, they want to hear coming out humor. I mean,
the next line actually is funny and at least self-aware. It's, so listen, I originally had about a 40-minute set ready, but don't worry, they asked me to keep it clean, so I should be out of here in about 3 minutes or so. But I'm saying, that's fine. Miranda's like, what the fuck? She pieces out. Carrie now sees Peter and tells Anthony, like, can you please follow? Or Anthony's wandered in, and Anthony says, God, there's nobody to have sex with here. The only ones fuckable are the cater waiters, and I have a very strict no cater waiter policy. And Carrie's like, Anthony,
unfortunately, this is also setting up that, like, this typical storyline that when you are an older gay man, you can only be a predator on young men.
Right.
You're saying that every adult man in the room is nothing.
Right. He's on the table.
Cater waiters, who are typically 25 or less, are the only fuckable ones there. Great. I'm glad that's the stereotype we need to uphold. Thank goodness. Because then he gets
also, by the way, Carrie keeps
30 years younger.
Carrie keeps saying to him, like, my husband died. Anthony's like, my husband left me and is now living in Japan. So I also kind of lost my husband too.
Carrie would be like, yeah, but my husband died and Stanford could come back.
Right. Totally.
I would just be like, sweetheart, I'm trying to be nice and supportive of you right now, but maybe we should take a moment until you can figure this shit out. Because
you're not even my like friend in this group. Charlotte is.
In fact, you don't think I'm important enough to be considered part of the core anything. So why would I no, I don't want to
also look at that Met Gala shit that she put him through.
Also, when you're a friend, you don't necessarily want to wet blanket every situation. So, like, if your friend is just constantly being like, yeah, well, my husband died, I'd be like, this isn't fun anymore. This is really not fun.
And it's also been, what, 8 months now we've established?
A year!
Yeah. So she's like, please follow Peter around. And then she goes, my husband died. And he goes, you get one more of those. So now...
And I'm sure Michael Patrick King was like, this is just all we just wanted, like, we want everyone to know that this will be we won't keep doing that. And so we wanted Anthony to be the voice of reason for the audience.
They wanted the Professor Puke joke, they said.
Oh dear. Okay. They're useless. I'm sorry. This is bad humor. It's just like
it's not. It's Mary and Jen from Sister Wives humor. Anyway, Che and Miranda. Che's set is over, and Che's talking to those two of the PTA.
Che's outfit is driving me crazy in here too, because it's giving like that sketch where Molly Shannon would be like the 80s comic.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Yeah, am I right, ladies?
Che's wearing a purple like brocade like blazer, and then like a white shirt with like a thing here that like looks kind of like a tie.
It's
and
like
then
a
the hair is like
midnight special
in a way.
From the 80s. Yeah,
it's like okay.
Well, they're talking, and also the PTA moms are like, my husband's worried every time I listen to your podcast because I'm so sexually attracted to your hilarious podcast humor.
We're still on that train of the entire world. The instant they hear Che Diaz
all
are
women
just gushing. Everyone.
So Miranda sees Che, and Che like sees Miranda. This is kind of hot on Sarah Ramirez's side. Like this situation, I guess, is hot. Like this person's finally in front of you. There's a moment of recognition, and then Che's like, "Hey, I see somebody I know. I gotta go."
But you ghosted them for 4 months after you finger banged the shit out of them.
Right? She's like, "Oh yeah, that." I think Che is like playing in her head, like trying to figure out like where. Oh yeah, Rambo. Yes. So they walk up. Che goes, Rambo, what's up? Miranda's like, well, I guess you don't. I guess you're not a person who likes to return instant messages. And Che's like,
Miranda was trying to play it cool. Like,
oh, was she?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm waiting for my Uber or whatever. And...
Oh, yeah. Well, it comes out that I DM'd you. And Che's like, really? When? And Miranda's like, oh, like 3 months ago. And she's like, 3 months, Miranda, I do a ton of weed. I probably just like didn't see it. Also, I get a ton of messages. And Miranda's like, I know you do. And Che's like, come on, Miranda, it's not like that. I want to strip you naked. And what did she go? I want to go someplace with you and take off all your clothes. And Miranda goes, really? Che's like, I guess.
I do. I struggle to believe that if Che has fucked their way across the country, that Miranda is the one that's inspiring them to just ravage.
No, but in this moment, it's kind of hot because like Miranda goes, really? And Che just nods. Because Sarah Ramirez is always kind of hot. Okay. LTW and George Washington have a mild fight about the microphone thing. That's the microphone thing. That's why. Another reason.
That's why they need to do.
They're fighting, and Charlotte and Harry catch them, and they're like, "No, we're that couple." And now, Anthony sneaks Carrie out just as George Washington is up on stage going, "Next prize, a date with sex writer Carrie Bradshaw." This was funny. That is funny.
I do like that she's like, I'm a sex writer. Like,
and it was a lunch with writer Carrie Bradshaw. And then he says again, date with sex writer Carrie Bradshaw. So Carrie goes up. Nobody's bidding on her. And then
a guy's like, we're all married.
Right. So Peter, the guy who puked on the date, buys her.
First, though, Charlotte bids on her for $700. First, it's $500. You hear, they play in the crashing dishes and the...
a cat,
like the background cricket noises, and then Charlotte's like 700, and then Carrie's like 1,000, and now you can bang that little gavel thing or whatever. And then what's his butt? Peter appears out, and he's like 1,050. What chivalry? 1,050. Wow, $50 whole dollars.
It's that scene. It's that scene in Oklahoma, and 2 bits. And 2 bits.
I almost wish he just would have said 1,001. I mean, that would have made more sense than 1,050.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so Carrie meets him afterward, and she's like, oh, thanks. You don't actually have to go out. And he's like, no.
They have chemistry too.
They do have chemistry. Oh, by the way, when he ends up winning her, Anthony says, oh, how'd he get back in here? Oh, he must have slipped in when I was getting that hand job from that cater waiter, which I did like that. Carrie and him talk. He's nice. And he's like, maybe we should go out again. And Carrie very hesitantly agrees. Like, well, I guess I'm not doing
Carrie,
anything.
What else do you have to do?
Yeah, go. Oh, God. Miranda and Che is my next note. Oh, I know why I wrote that. Because we now smash cut to a topless Cynthia Nixon with Sarah Ramirez sucking on her actual nipples.
These two have no sexual chemistry. I'm sorry.
They really don't. I feel gross. And I am very turned on by lesbian sex or sex.
Yeah, it has nothing. In my mind, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's like when the two of them are laying in bed talking to each other while Sarah Ramirez is on top of Cynthia Nixon.
Yeah.
Those two people could almost be in different rooms. There's no...
It's how they film most of the show.
It's not hot. It's not... They're not talking to each other in the way that they just had sex. You know, the way you talk to someone after you just had sex isn't like, oh, well... Oh.
Do you remember when I slept with that guy?
Which one?
I'm trying to figure He like did like glass work. He's the one that sent me that thing saying, I realize I can never fall in love with you. That one. But he was like really intense. Anyway, after that's the first time I like went to the bathroom and I came back and he's like, so, and I was like, what? And he's like, do you like me? Or he's like, I can't get a read on you. He said that right to me. And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
I feel like I get that too. But but these people, I mean, again, since like Miranda, this has changed her.
Miranda says, I've never felt anything so intense in my life since the last finger bang, because she also said that was the most transcendent. Now this, most intense, I think I'm in love with you. Che says, Che actually gives Miranda a little bit of an out here, like, oh, that wasn't weird at all. No, you're not in love with me. You're in love with you when you're with me. And Miranda goes, no, baby. I love you. Which if I was Che, there'd be like an Amanda size shaped hole in the wall.
It'd be like in a cartoon when it's like, and then there's like just a little puff of smoke from you leaving.
Yeah. Che goes, and the weed doesn't hurt. And Miranda goes, no, I really love you. It's fucking bonkers.
No one in the writer's room also smokes weed, obviously, because the way that they have Che talking about weed all the time is,
especially because Che smokes all the time, it wouldn't even affect Che. Che wouldn't even have that in their head as like, oh, it's probably just the weed.
Che would also the line, I do a lot of weed. Nary a human being
no one
who smokes weed or anything would say, I do a lot of weed. You could say, I do a lot of coke. I do a lot of coke. I do a lot of meth or something. But I do a lot of weed? No, I think you'd say, I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed. Well, Carrie now, we're at the end, Joan. Carrie returns home
to God.
Thank God. She returns home to her den of loneliness and opens her computer, writes the epilogue. This is it. This is what we've led up to this whole fucking Amanda's been waiting
just like that.
I found a glimmer of hope.
That's the epilogue.
Amanda could have written that.
I'm assuming the epilogue is going to be, I went out on a first date with a guy, like my friend set me up on a Tinder. I went on a first date. We puked on each other's shoes because we were both widows.
Honestly, though, that would have been a good epilogue. That would actually be a great epilogue for that. Like, haha, it's funny.
I'm assuming that is the epilogue, right? And this line here is just the end of that.
I guess.
I'm going to give them credit. I'm on a streak today. I've given them credit in 3 places because I don't want to hate this show. And I feel like I get on every time. What?
Did we play this?
So as Demi Lovato would say, sorry, not sorry.
That's when Harry wants Charlotte to apologize to him. And she as though she's never heard the name Demi Lovato before or the song, or she has this line. It was like they presented her with this line and she's like, what? Okay, but what does this mean? Because she pronounces Demi Lovato as though they've sounded it out phonetically for her. And then she says, sorry, not sorry, as though she's forgot.
So as Demi Lovato would say, sorry, not sorry.
Right. She also has 2 teenagers who would be saying sorry, not sorry.
But would they? Because maybe Demi Lovato is like such an old lady to them.
But Demi Lovato didn't come up with sorry, not sorry, did she? I feel like kids were saying that. Just that's the song.
That song, I think, made it more.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, we got to the end. What's next? What's next week, Joan?
Next week, I saw just the screenshot that they chose, and it is Miranda and Che at the Pride event.
It's called 100 Years Ago. Oh, no, wait. Season 1 episode. I got it here. It's called Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered. Okay.
Oh, this is the Halloween episode, eh?
Oh, actually, that'll line up perfectly, Joan. Kind of. After coming clean to Che, Miranda is spurred toward after coming clean to Che, like Che's the one being lied to here. Miranda is spurred toward making a life-altering decision. Carrie attempts to learn more about her mysterious 20-something neighbor. Oh, listen.
Oh, God, no. No.
Charlotte's efforts to be more open with her kids about sex get derailed. All right, I'm tired.
You guys, make sure you check out our lives every Friday at 2 p.m. EST. Also, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/podandthecity. Get a bunch
and
of
make sure
extra
you check
stuff
out all
over
our
there.
other videos on it's called on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, click around our stuff, and engage, baby. Engage. Look at all this stuff we got.
Yeah, babe, we got lots of shit. We love you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.